But every morning I felt this growing weight in my chest. Does that sound familiar to you? I discovered what I call the value trap, when your success actually becomes your prison. So many lawyers report feeling trapped in their current practice and to border on burnout. But here's what nobody tells you. It's not about the hours. It's not about the clients or even the money. It's about alignment. But here's the good news. Once you recognize the value trap, you can break free of it. I did it by transitioning to family law, where I could choose my clients, set my own rates, and make a direct impact in people's lives.
Welcome to the Free Lawyer Podcast. I'm your host, Gary Miles.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. So let me ask you this. Have you ever found yourself asking, is this what I really want from my legal career? Or have you ever felt like the hard work and the long hours just aren't worth it anymore? If so, you're not alone. So many lawyers just like you experience burnout, frustration, and lack of fulfillment in their careers. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be this way. After 40 years as a trial lawyer and managing partner of my firm, I discovered something shocking. Most lawyers are trapped in prisons they built themselves. I was one of those. Today, I'm sharing how I broke free and helped other attorneys do the same. I'm Gary Miles, and if you're feeling stuck in your law practice or overwhelmed by long hours or questioning if this is what you really want from your career, stay with me. In the next 15 minutes, I will show you exactly how to create the practice you've always dreamed of. I'm going to show you how to align your legal practice with your core values, regain control over your career, and rediscover the passion and purpose that you once had. By the end of this episode, you will have actionable steps to create a practice that truly matters to you. I've been a lawyer for over 4 decades and a coach for attorneys who feel stuck, overwhelmed, or unfulfilled in their careers. I help lawyers like you create a practice that aligns with their values and gives them the freedom and the success that they crave. I've walked this path myself. At one point, I felt very restricted by the cases I handled and the clients I served. But by aligning my practice with my values, I found deeper connections with my clients, greater financial success, and most importantly, personal fulfillment. And today I want to share with you what I've learned. Before we dive in, if you're ready to take the next step, I invite you to schedule a courtesy call with me. Let's explore how I can help you create the legal career you love. Click the link in the description to get started. So let's talk about what I call the value trap, why so often our success feels empty. Picture this. I was a very successful insurance defense attorney in the transportation arena, handling trucking cases, billing high hours, winning cases, great reputation, doing very well on paper. I had it. I had it all. I had it all. But every morning I felt this growing weight in my chest. Does that sound familiar to you? I discovered what I call the value trap, when your success actually becomes your prison. And there are 3 pillars of the value trap. The first is the golden handcuffs. You're making good money, but you're trapped representing clients you didn't choose, charging rates you didn't set, and working hours you can't control. 2, the second pillar is the expertise trap. You spent years building expertise in an area of law that doesn't fulfill you. Like me with insurance defense, I was very good at it, but it didn't align with my desire to make a direct impact in people's lives. And the third pillar of the value trap is the identity crisis. You become known as the insurance lawyer or the corporate attorney, and now you're afraid to change because it has become your identity. Here's the shocking truth. So many lawyers report feeling trapped in their current practice and to border on burnout. But here's what nobody tells you. It's not about the hours. It's not about the clients or even the money. It's about alignment. But here's the good news. Once you recognize the value trap, you can break free of it. I did it by transitioning to family law, where I could choose my clients, set my own rates, and make a direct impact in people's lives. So if you're stuck in the value trap, here are some warning signs for you to look for. Do you ever feel like this? You dread Monday mornings despite your success. You can't remember why you became a lawyer. Your work feels meaningless to you despite the paycheck. You're too afraid to change because of your status. Those are warning signs for you. So I want to share with you now my 4-step freedom framework. I want to show you the exact framework I use to break free. And this 4-step framework has helped many lawyers transform their practice. The first step, step 1, is to determine your essential values. Let's start with your values. They are your guiding principles. They're the things that make your life and work feel meaningful. Without clarity on your values, it's truly impossible to create a fulfilling career. Why do values matter? Your values influence how you approach everything in your practice, from the types of cases you take on to how you interact with your clients and colleagues. When your work aligns with your values, you feel energized, motivated, and connected to your purpose. But when there's misalignment, frustration, and even resentment can set in. So take a moment to grab a piece of paper or open a notes app and ask yourself, what moments in your career have brought you the greatest joy? When have you felt most connected to your work? What aspects of your personal life do you value most? Integrity, family, creativity, balance? What energizes you about practicing law? When do you feel most fulfilled? And what type of impact do you want to make? For me, I discovered my core values were autonomy, direct impact, and family time. And that realization changed everything. Early in my career, I realized that working on cases where I couldn't truly help people drained my energy. But when I transitioned into family law, I felt a deeper connection with my clients, helping them through those challenging, stressful times in their life aligned perfectly with my values. So understanding your values is the first step in creating a law practice that feels not just productive, but also meaningful. Step 2, identify your sources of frustration. Now that you've clarified your values, let's pinpoint where the disconnect lies. Frustration in your practice so often stems from misalignment between your daily work and what truly matters to you. And these are some of the common sources of frustration. Tasks that drain your energy. Are there aspects of your job that feel tedious or overwhelming? Maybe it's endless administrative tasks, or perhaps you're tired of dealing with combative clients. Lack of autonomy. Do you feel micromanaged or boxed in by firm policies? If independence is one of your priorities, one of your values, that lack of freedom can be a significant source of dissatisfaction. Work-life imbalance. Is your personal life suffering because of your career? Sacrificing family time or personal health for billable hours can really lead to long-term resentment. Practicing in an area that no longer excites you. Sometimes the passion you had when you started fades over time. If your current area of practice doesn't spark your interest, maybe it's time for a change. Client relationship issues. Do you struggle with not being able to control who you represent? And are you forced to represent clients who just push your buttons and are too difficult? Time management struggles. Do you feel overwhelmed by the workload that's put on you and you feel like you have no control over it? Financial pressures. Do you feel financial pressures and a lack of freedom to create the firm you desire? So take a moment to reflect. Write down 3 things that frustrate you about your current practice. And next to each frustration, write how it conflicts with one of your values. So let me give you an example from my life. I worked in insurance defense primarily for about 30 years, and I was really good at it. But the work felt misaligned with my values. I couldn't choose my clients, they were assigned to me. And my clients were covered by insurance, I didn't feel like I was making a difference in their lives at all. But once I transitioned into family law, I found my passion reignited because I could work directly with people who truly appreciated my help. Recognizing what frustrates you is a powerful step toward change. It reveals where adjustments need to be made to bring your career into alignment. Now that we've clarified your values and identified what about your current practice frustrates you and why, envision your ideal practice. This is step 3. Here's where the fun begins. Imagine for a moment that you could design your perfect law practice. What would that look like? Here's some questions to guide your vision. What kind of work excites you? Would you continue in your current practice area, or would you shift to something new? Maybe you've always been intrigued by mediation, consulting, or even teaching, or working in a different area of law. What kind of working environment do you want? Do you thrive in a collaborative team, or do you prefer the independence of working solo? Would starting your own firm give you the freedom you desire? 3, what work-life balance do you want to achieve? Think about your ideal day. Does it include time for your family, for your hobbies, or for travel? And what does your schedule look like? 4, what type of client do you want to represent? Who do you want to help and serve? 5, what income goals do you need to support your lifestyle? So close your eyes for a moment. Picture yourself at work on an ideal day. What are you doing? Who are you working with? How do you feel? Dream big. Your vision is not just a fantasy. It's really the blueprint for your future. For me, my ideal practice was one where I could choose my clients, I could set my fees and rates, and I could make a truly meaningful difference in their lives. And when I entered into the field of family law, I could create that reality. And it transformed not only my career, but my personal life as well. Step 4, now that you have your values, your frustrations, and your vision, it's time to take action. And the good news, change doesn't have to be overwhelming. Small, intentional shifts can make a big difference. So here are the steps you take to realign your practice. The first is shift your practice area. If your current work doesn't excite you, explore other areas of law. Reach out to colleagues or mentors in fields that interest you, and consider taking on a few pro bono cases in that area or a few small matters to test the waters. 2, change your work environment. Is your current firm's culture holding you back? Seek out environments that align with your values, whether it's a smaller firm, a more collaborative team, or starting your own practice. Finding the right fit can be truly transformative. 3, adjust your schedule. Work-life balance is so critical. Set boundaries with your clients, reduce unnecessary meetings, and carve out time for what matters most to you. 4, start your own firm. If independence and autonomy are not your values, if that's what matters to you, being independent and autonomous, maybe starting your own firm is the solution. Running your own practice gives you full control over your work and your schedule and the culture of your firm. Small changes today can really lead to big transformations tomorrow. When I transitioned into family law, I didn't make the shift overnight. I started by taking on a few family cases. I had a mentor to support me, but I continued my insurance defense work. Over time, I built a reputation in family law, and eventually it became my primary focus. And that gradual shift allowed me to create a practice that aligned perfectly with my values. Taking these steps alone can feel daunting, but that's where coaching comes in. As a coach, I've helped so many lawyers navigate this process. It helps to have a sounding board, someone you can talk to, someone who can help you see the vision that you really desire of your future. Together, we can identify your goals, create a plan, and make the changes that lead to a more fulfilling career. Are you ready to apply this framework to your practice? If so, book your free strategy call using the link below. I'll share exactly how I transformed my own practice using this framework. Before I was an insurance defense attorney, I had fixed and low hourly rates that I had no power to change. I didn't have choice over my clients. They were assigned to me. And I had no control over my workload. Sometimes I was sent too many cases and sometimes not enough. But after I transitioned into family law, I could bill the rates that I wanted to. I could use value-based pricing if I wanted to. I could choose my ideal clients. I could say no to clients I didn't want to represent. I had a flexible schedule, complete autonomy and independence, and most of all, I had fulfillment. The turning point for me came when I realized I was excellent at something I didn't truly love. And I was managing partner of a successful firm, but I felt empty. And despite the prestige, I knew something had to change. But I didn't jump ship overnight. I started taking some family law cases. I built relationships in that new practice area. I gradually shifted my client base, and I developed new expertise while maintaining my income. And what was the result? I had more income, a flexible schedule, more fulfillment. I was truly appreciated by my clients. I control over case selection and clients. I set my own rates. So let me be clear, the legal profession doesn't have to be a prison. I've shown you the framework that transformed my lives and that of many other lawyers. And now it's your turn. Aligning your practice with your core values is not just a career decision. It's a life-changing step towards fulfillment and towards freedom. And when your work reflects what truly matters to you, the stress and frustration that you experience so much now is replaced by a sense of purpose and of passion. Imagine waking up every day excited about the work you do, energized by the impact you're making, and confident that your practice truly aligns with your personal values. That isn't a dream. It's entirely within your reach. And remember, small, intentional steps can lead to profound transformations. Start by identifying your values, addressing your frustrations, and envisioning your ideal practice. From there, you can begin to take meaningful action to create a career and a life that feels truly aligned. So don't wait until burnout forces you to change. Take control now. As someone who's walked this path, I can tell you the freedom you're looking for is possible. Let's create your breakthrough together. If this episode resonated with you, don't wait for things to change on their own. You deserve a legal career that fulfills you, energizes you, and aligns with your core values. So let's take that first step together. Click the link in the description to schedule your free coaching call with me. It's not a sales pitch, but a conversation about where you are, where you want to be, and how we can get you there. And don't forget to like this episode, subscribe to my channel, and share it with a colleague who might benefit from these insights. Together, we can create a legal profession filled with purpose and with balance. So thank you for being here today. And remember, your best career and your life is waiting for you. So let's make it happen. Thank you all for being here today. And as always, please be well, be safe, and be free.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the Free Lawyer Podcast. Wherever you are listening, if you enjoyed what I shared, please leave me a rating and review. I would appreciate hearing more about what you like best and what topics you might like me to cover in future episodes. If you are interested in experiencing a more fulfilling and a more successful life, please contact me at www.garymiles.net, where you can schedule a free discovery call with me so I can learn more about you, your challenges, and your dreams. I appreciate each and every one of you and have a great rest of your day. Thanks to all of you for your support.